Nice and little spring back there. Anyway, we keep heading down the trail here, and I believe the spur was 1.3 miles. I'm not sure, 1.3, 1.9, less than 2. So we'll probably be there in the next, I'd say 10 or 15 minutes. I tend to underestimate these things. It's probably right up here. So this is just a little look of this part of the Ouachita Trail. I'm sure it's varied, you know, throughout the entire 220 plus miles. But through here, it's really rocky, really cool. So far it's been a good challenge. Haven't gone up any hills really. It's been pretty flat, but it's just a shame that the sun's not out. It could really get you some good views off this side of this ridge, but well, just have to deal with it. I'm just glad to be out hiking somewhere. My last one was in Texas, Lake Texoma. That was pretty cool, but I love coming up in the mountains. This just really feels more remote and more like a real hike. So anyway, we're gonna keep moving, and we'll check in when we get to the junction. Shouldn't be too far. Still following the Ouachita Blue Blazes, and I'll just stop talking and film for a little bit, and you can just check it out. Here we go. Alright, we'll check in with you at the junction. Thanks for watching. Alright, we made it to the split. Ouachita Trail obviously keeps going and going and going that way. It's actually the short way. If you go this way, you go all the way into Arkansas and across, which would be awesome. Would love to do that. We're gonna go straight here, Horsethief Spring, West Loop, Goldville Divide. I have no idea, but I don't think we'll make it that far. And we're just right up there, about 200 yards is the highway. So this part of the Ouachita Trail runs right next to that Talihina scenic highway. But anyway, we're at the split, Horsethief Springs Trail, this way, following the white blazes again. Some of these look like moss. It's hard to tell. But anyway, we're going to keep moving. It's a little before noon. We've already made really good time. We might make this whole loop. If we don't, hopefully tomorrow will be sunny. We can get some good photos through here. It looks awesome, but I'm sure it's not filming well because it's so cloudy. But it was either do it this weekend or not do it, so I'm here. We'll see you down the trail. This is really cool. It's a boulder field kind of out here in the middle of everything. I don't know if you can hear that, but somebody's shooting off in the distance. I've been hearing rifle shots, but it sounds really far away, so not worried. Oh wow, this is neat. Just love coming out here, and let's go around every corner. There's something new. I mean, as much as I film, you can't believe how many things I walk past that I'd like to film, and I just keep going. Otherwise, I'd just be filming the whole hike. I don't think I have the battery for that. Backpack way down there against that tree. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, just love these little places. Alright, we're a little ways down the trail and kind of muddy down here, but I just looked at my pedometer and it shows that we've walked about 14.5 miles, so we should be well past that spur that was heading up to Cedar Lake. And anyway, I just wanted to film a little bit back here because we just came into this really great, I mean, these are some awesome, I read on the website, it said walk through towering pines. Well, this is it here, because this is great. Sun kind of went back behind a cloud, but still pretty warm. I hope this is picking up. It's hard for me to tell. Anyway, just going to show you a little bit of the trail through here. It's been pretty muddy. It's really rutted bad because of all the horses, so it of course puddles up really bad, and you can see where horses have been going around off the trail and around and making new trails, and so kind of messing it up. Here's a good example right here. Just kind of step around it at least, but it's been a whole lot of that. You can see the horseshoes. So far, out of 14 plus miles, we have not seen a soul. We saw 2 trucks at the Horsethief Springs parking area where the spring actually was, but we never saw anybody on the trail. And so far the seclusion factor is awesome. It's just been me and Jax, and sometimes when I stop, he's a little bit whiny. I'm sure you can hear that on some of the film. But he gets impatient, wants to keep moving. I think he's getting tired. We stopped back there at that one junction where I filmed and said it was confusing, and I took a drink of water and everything, and he actually fell asleep for a minute, so I think he's wearing out. Anyway, this is just a little bit of the trail back here, Horsethief Springs Trail. We're back to these yellow and white markers, which is we saw all in the beginning of the day on the Billy Creek Trail. And since we got off that, it's been pretty much white until now. So I think we're heading in the right direction. It feels right, so we're gonna keep going this way until we find out we're going the wrong way. So, oh, there's a fish in there. Little bitty one. Anyway, we're gonna cross this huge river. And gonna keep heading that way, and probably in an hour or so we're gonna start looking for a campsite. So we'll check in with you later, and thanks for watching. Well, we did the whole loop. Horsethief Springs. I really wasn't planning on doing the whole loop. It looks a lot different than we were standing here earlier. You can actually see. I wasn't planning on doing the whole loop, but I was never exactly sure where we were because our thing turned into trail number 9, and I was like, I'm not sure what trail number 9 is, so I kept following it, and it finally ran back into the Ouachita Trail. I went ahead and went straight though and came back up here just to make sure that this was in fact the right area. So I don't even know, we're probably 16, 17 miles by now, but I'm gonna head back down here to the Ouachita Trail and take it down a mile or two, and then it runs back into that spur and then back into the Billy Creek Trail. So we hiked most of the hike today. I guess we'll start looking for a place to camp now that I'm absolutely certain of where we are. I feel much better. I didn't want to wake up in the morning and have to wonder where I was, so I only have 2 days to do this. I have to be back on the job Tuesday, so can't afford to get too lost, but very difficult trail to follow. I mean, just there's a lot of markings, but you just don't know which one's yours. So I would suggest getting a horse trail map of some sort with all the numbered trails. That would make it easier to follow, because I followed trail number 9 for a long ways. I think I followed trail 4 or 5, I'm not sure, but I wanted to just follow the blazes, so, but you can't do that. So anyway, we're gonna head back down here. We're not too far from the Ouachita Trail. I just wanted to come up here and confirm. In fact, here it is right down here. I don't know if you can see the blue blazes. So this is how close it is. Right here, blue and white. So we're off that way. This part we're not gonna get to see, because I'm not gonna hike down there. It's probably not too far from where we hit it, so it's not worth checking out. Anyway, you could see what some of the other people wrote on here. This way to get lost. So I'm not the only one who was confused by all those numbers, so just a fair warning, if you come out here, you're gonna have to really pay attention and just make sure you're heading in the right direction. You know, if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. You can kind of tell if you're making a loop, you know, you're just making a giant circle, so you can kind of feel that. If you feel like you're going the wrong way, then you probably are. So turn around and work it out. Anyway, back on the Ouachita Trail, heading back down towards the spur trail that'll connect us back up with the Billy Creek Trail, and we're gonna start looking for a campsite for sure. My legs are pretty tired. That last bit was all uphill after 14 or 15 miles of walking, and it was uphill for, I mean, I had to stop probably 10 times to catch my breath. It's just killing me, and my feet are definitely feeling it. So onward to the campsite. We'll see you there. All right, about a mile and a half down the Ouachita Trail, and it really looks awesome out here now that the sun's out, so I thought I'd walk a little ways and just kind of let you see the view. Front of me. Trail is pretty rocky, but it's pretty relatively flat. I mean, there's these minor up and downs, but it's pretty gently rolling. It's beautiful out there to the east. Sun finally came out around 4 o'clock and has been out since then. Of course, it got considerably warm for a while, humid. So I'm just wearing a short sleeve shirt now. And it's starting to get a little bit chilly. I'm sweating a lot and the wind is kind of blowing. A little chilly, but feels pretty good. Anyway, I just want you to see this view off there. It's really awesome. Alright, I'm gonna walk a little bit and just anyway, still following the blue blazes, and I believe the spur trail was 2.2 miles down this way, so we passed a mile marker back there. It was mile 21, so once we hit 22, should be pretty close. I figure we walked almost a mile before we hit marker 21, so Anyway, Ouachita Trail. And if we kept going, about 200 more miles would be awesome someday. Anyway, we're gonna keep moving. We gotta start looking for a place to camp too. I almost could walk back to the car, but I don't know, that's a little too far. I don't think I'd make it before dark, so not sure I want to try to walk that far anyway. Need to get some rest and hit it in the morning.